Chapter 2 of Weird Strict Dad is out, bringing us a more difficult experience and gameplay than the previous one. In addition to hiding from Dad, we also have to prepare an antidote before 3 a.m. In this chapter is the first time we see the basement, which has a totally different appearance from the rest of the house. It has a gloomy and abandoned aspect. And seeing all the things that it contains, we can affirm that there lived one or several witches. Judging by the appearance and the way Dad and Mom act, we can confirm that they didn't even know about the existence of this place, which leaves us with only one candidate, and that is Grandfather. That means he was a witch. Let's remember that in the bad ending, after Papa dies, we bury him next to Grandpa. A curious detail of this place is that we can see the names of the grandfather and the father, that curiously make reference to the classic animated series Tom and Jerry. A few seconds later, we see how someone begins to speak, telling us to let him rest. After that, we see how a hand appears from the grave of the grandfather, and just after that, the game ends. We could theorize that the grandfather, as he is a sorcerer, resurrected himself to take revenge against the being that possessed his son. And now I will talk about this mysterious person. Who is he and what is he looking for? In the first chapter, he possessed Dad, and in the second one, he did the same, but this time he carried with him a kind of sickle. And that by the design it has, we could confirm that it is something magical. With this detail, we could think the following. The grandfather and this sorcerer were enemies for years, and once the grandfather died, the sorcerer decided to start tormenting the family of his enemy. This would be the reason why he messes with us. The reason for the rivalry of these two is still unknown. In the basement, we see interesting things. As for example, this kind of giant metal door. I do not think it is a decoration since the rest of the floor does not have it. What do you think it is? We see several abandoned and old things, but among them stands out an old telephone that still works. I did a little research and found the following numbers. According to the creator, there are even more numbers that were not made public, but so far no one else could find another one. If you know more numbers, please write it in the comments. We also see the most outstanding thing, that is the library. There is not much to mention about this place besides the fact that it was there where we magically placed the alchemy book that helped us to know how to make the antidote. In the end of the chapter, we see how the sorcerer manages to possess Mama and suddenly both disappear. Possibly he took her to who knows where. The most important thing from end is that we see how he dropped his magic sickle. The most probable thing is that for the next chapter, we are going to rescue Mama with the help of Papa and that magic sickle. And maybe we can also see Grandpa in zombie mode. Another extra detail that we can highlight is that voice that we hear every few seconds.
The future, I've seen it. The future, I've seen it. The future, I've seen it.
There is the possibility that the woman who speaks this is Mama and that this is a message from the future. Another possible reason or origin of this message cannot be known at the moment. The last thing I would like to talk about is the second floor. Why is it protected like that? Is the father hiding something very important there? I remember playing this the first hour it came out and you could go to the second floor, but there was nothing different. One possible reason why it is like this would be to eliminate excess space, since let's remember that the main map of Chapter 2 is the basement. The other possible reason why this was hidden is because little by little is adding or modifying some things of the second floor. Since the creator announced that in a few days he was going to expand the map of Chapter 2, it would only be a question of waiting. And what do you think about all this? If I forgot any detail to mention, I ask you to write it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching.